This city was located on the site of the older city of Jiangkang. During the recapture of this city from Han Shuquan, who declared it the capital of Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, its porcelain tower was burned down. Nazi Party member John Rabb was credited with saving 200,000 lives from a catastrophe in this city by creating its namesake safety zone. Before the KMT took Beijing, this city fittingly served as the Republic of China's capital, since its name translates as Southern Capital. In 1938, Japanese troops killed hundreds of thousands of people in this city in what became known as its rape. For 10 points, name this southern Chinese city. And the answer is Nanjing. One holder of this position changed party 5 times, and his support for World War I conscription in his country prompted him to create the National Labour Party. That man was Billy Hughes. Another holder of this position, Robert Mingus, gave the Forgotten People speech. One holder of this position, named Harold Holt, entangled his country in the Vietnam War and disappeared after going for a swim. More recent holders of this office have included Julia Gillard, Kevin Rudd, and Tony Abbott. For 10 points, name this political office whose holders, including Malcolm Turnbull, live in Canberra. And the answer is Prime Minister of Australia. One rebellion against this dynasty began when a customs official expropriated its leader's lacquer trees. That man, a leader of the Manchaean community, was Fang La. Scientists, including Su Song, were active during this dynasty, part of which was marked by a rivalry between Sima Yi and Wang Anshi. The Liao dynasty ruled to the north of this dynasty, but was eventually replaced by the militaristic Jurchen Jin, whose capture of this dynasty's capital of Kaifeng prompted the establishment of a new capital at Hangzhou. This dynasty established Neo-Confucianism as state doctrine, printed paper money, and fell to Kublai Khan's Mongol invasion in 1279. For 10 points, name this Chinese dynasty that preceded the Yuan. And the answer is the Song Dynasty. This man began his political career by criticizing Maurice Duplessis in the magazine Cite Libre. This leader was accused of Western alienation after he instituted the National Energy Program, as well as cursing in Parliament, which he denied, claiming instead to have muttered "fuddle-duddle." A crisis was ignited by the kidnapping of Pierre Laporte and James Cross under this man's administration. In his highest post, this politician established the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and responded, "Just watch me," to a reporter upon invoking the War Measures Act. For 10 points, name this man who led Canada during the October crisis, the father of Canada's current Prime Minister. And the answer is Pierre-Yves Elliott Trudeau. Reports of this event included a story about Margaret Wheeler killing her rapist and then committing suicide. 9 soldiers blew up an armory while still inside of it in the defense of the magazine during one battle in this event. That battle also saw 3 men shot at the Bloody Gate. Shortly after this event, the doctrine of lapse was rescinded. Bahadur Shah Zafar was declared as emperor of a region central to this event. Sir Colin Campbell relieved a siege at Lucknow during this event. This revolt was partially caused because Enfield rifles used pig and cow grease in their cartridges. For 10 points, name this rebellion carried out by namesake soldiers, which resulted in the transfer of the rule of India from the East India Company to the British Crown. And the answer is the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. A prince of this country, Ming Yi Sua, was killed while fighting Thai King Naraswan on top of war elephants. The Manan Yazawin, or Glass Palace Chronicle, describes the history of this country. Along Paya founded the Khan Bong dynasty in this country by defeating the Ayutthaya, while this country's earlier Pagan dynasty came to power in the Irrawaddy Valley. During World War II, Joseph Stilwell led Merrill's marauders against Japanese forces in this country. Hundreds of thousands of refugees have flooded into neighboring Bangladesh as a result of this country's ongoing genocide against its Rohingya people. For 10 points, name this country led by Aung San Suu Kyi with capital Naypyidaw. And the answer is Myanmar. Muammar Gaddafi sent troops to assist this man in annexing the disputed Kagera region, and this man married the 19-year-old go-go dancer Sarah Koilaba. This leader ordered the killing of Dora Bloch after his harboring of Palestinian hijackers led to an attack on Entebbe airport to rescue Israeli hostages. This leader expelled 60,000 Asians from his country, claimed to be the uncrowned King of Scotland, and titled himself Lord of all the beasts of the earth, before being overthrown by an invasion from his country's southern neighbor, Tanzania. For 10 points, name this notoriously insane Ugandan dictator. And the answer is Idi Amin Dada. During this war, the French Count of Eu led veteran troops to victory against mostly underage soldiers in beards at the Battle of Acosta Nu. One side strategy of ramming led to a major naval victory at the Battle of Riachuelo in this war. The leader of one side in this war was killed during the Battle of Cerro Cora. The Duke of Caxias led the military of a country whose province of Mato Grosso was invaded at the start of this war. This war saw the defeated country lose 70% of its male population, including its president, Francisco Solano Lopez. For 10 points, name this war that saw a coalition of Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay defeat Paraguay. And the answer is the War of the Triple Alliance. These people fought against Duncan Cameron, whose forces were defeated in battle by followers of these people's King movement. George Gray led the Hutt Valley campaign against these people. After one leader of these people brought down a Union Jack, these people fought the Flagstaff War. These people, who established hill forts known as PA, fought amongst themselves during the Musket Wars. William Hobson convinced many chiefs of these people to accept British rule with the Treaty of Waitangi. For 10 points, name these indigenous people of New Zealand. And the answer is Maori. Protesters against this country's monarch alleged that its secret police carried out the Cinema Rex fire, killing 420 civilians. The Slavic secret police operated in this country, whose monarch launched the reform-minded White Revolution a decade after Operation Ajax overthrew this country's Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh. After this country's former monarch Mohammad Reza Pahlavi was allowed into the U.S. for medical treatment, students in this country took 52 Americans hostage for 444 days. For 10 points, name this country which became an Islamic republic under Ayatollah Khomeini in 1979. And the answer is the Islamic Republic of Iran.